What's good? It's Ozman the Wizard.
And Naima.
And this is not
Not
Damn Podcast.
another good podcast.
Presented by
Our damn selves.
All right, kid.
Yeah, kind of like it was like I was trying to link up with you.
Oh, good. It's been a busy weekend as we jump into episode 287. First of all, let's talk about how everybody's Thanksgiving went. Yeah, because we celebrate Thanksgiving. It's food, family, football, none of that other shit. So, like, for anybody else, so you're not throwing out the FF. Anybody else, fuck you. Because we talking food, we talking family, we talking football. If you don't like it, fuck you. The 4 F's.
Yeah, like we don't talk about pilgrims and like we don't do that. I mean, I've never done that.
I've never met anybody that's done that shit.
Right. So
of any race. Even my wife.
If you want to go down that rabbit hole.
Talk about pilgrims. Like, where all these pilgrim celebrators, y'all hang out with. Y'all niggas hang out with pilgrims and shit. Like, I don't.
Because my thing is, if you go down the rabbit hole of what's
the origins of all of these holidays are fucked
exactly
up.
What was started as,
Yeah, as the Hotep say, these pagan holidays, they all pagan holidays. It's like,
if you go down that rabbit hole, then you're going to be giving up a lot of your traditional things that you like to celebrate.
Imagine what the Halloween origins, it just seems fucked up. Like, I don't know all the whole story, but it just sounds like some satanic fucked up shit. So that's a rabbit hole I don't want to go down. It's like
Black Friday, Christmas, all that. Yeah.
The origins of all of these stupid ass holidays, New Year's. It's like, I'm sure all of these got like dark origins and shit.
Yeah. So
Valentine's Day, I'm sure it's like fucked up origins for all of them and shit.
We know it's a massacre in Chicago, but
it wasn't an origin, but I get it.
It wasn't an origin, but it was a massacre in Chicago. What was that, like the 20s or whatever?
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, during around the Al Capone time, around that time. But yes, Thanksgiving was a great celebration. Got to be with family. Was at the mother-in-law. She always does it up big.
That was one of my many stops. I'm gonna tell you about my journey and adventure. Go ahead.
So we had our own journey already.
Yeah.
Which I'll delve into
separate from Thanksgiving, which we'll get into momentarily. Well, I'll talk about my Thanksgiving journey. Me and the lady, it was our first Thanksgiving together. So I spent some time with her family, some time with my family. So we had to like coordinate it. Yeah. And then the coup de grace of all of it is what's as funny is like which you probably don't know about it. I said she cooked too. So we had a whole dinner at the house and shit, but kept getting invited. So it was like, yeah, well, we can make the stops. So it was like we had a whole we're gonna do it kind of intimate. She cooked, but then we just kept getting invited places. And then she's like, I want to see your family. I was like, okay, yeah. And then like her cousin Garland invited her. He had a smaller gathering. Her other cousin, with the big gathering, was kind of similar to your mother-in-law. Was a lot of the other cousin had like that was the spot where like everybody was at. Yeah, that was our first stop. We stopped there at her cousin Tangie's house. Yeah, so we went there, kicked it with the fam a little bit. Yeah. Saw all of her aunties, cousins, nieces, nephews, etc. Yeah, we stopped at the good brother Garland. That's the homie there. Because his name, he goes by G Wiz. I'm Ozman the Wiz, so he's two wizards, right? Kind of bonded over that. So that's
nice.
So we made a quick stop through there. Then we headed over to hang out with you and the fam. Yeah. So that was our third stop. Fourth, if you count that, we already had food at the house too. It's like,
where's Oz? Because everybody's looking like, where's Oz? Where's Oz?
I forgot to tell you these first two stops were out in Joliet too. So, so we had to travel to Joliet, then back to Chicago. It was a lot.
Yeah, I'm not driving out there.
Yeah. It's a lot. Shout out everybody on I-80 West and shit. That's 80 West. That's how you. That's a joke.
Well, I would attend via Zoom. That's how I'd be like.
or FaceTime this mother.
You see me via Zoom. That's what I would do.
Nice though. Got to see everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was fun, like I said, because we could have avoided all of it, just stayed in. It's like because she cooked the whole meal. It's like
you had a whole dinner.
Dressing, greens, beans, tomatoes, all of that shit. Like, yeah, you name it, she cooked it. We had it all.
Sorry, Nice. Fun.
I enjoyed it tremendously. Yeah. So that's why I've been in the mood all week. I'm like, yeah, hanging out with the fam. Yeah. Did our rounds. Yeah. And then you could tell more about your adventurous week, which it might end up taking up the bulk of this podcast. Yeah.
It might do so.
That's why I want to get Thanksgiving stuff out of the way, because I know you gotta. Well, people that you can look and tell Naima is not in her usual space. So
yeah, like I know you guys are looking like, what the hell is going on? Because if you're watching video of this podcast, thank you.
Watching our YouTube version of it.
Thank you.
You know, Naima typically is where she has a little picture of Jill Scott is right in the corner. Like, where's Jill Scott at? It's like, yeah, she ain't, so it's not in the usual spot. So
yes, Jill Scott isn't hung up yet. Well, something that I've been keeping close to the chest that we've been doing since like September, I would say we started. Marcus and I were on a house hunt. We started house hunting because we need a house. We were like, we've outgrown the condo, 2 kids in a condo. We've outgrown this. We need a house. We need a house. We need a house. And on the 18th.
Condo is 2 bedrooms, by the way. So that's
2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms.
All that. But yeah, you got a family of 4 with 2 bedrooms. A little cramped.
A little bit cramped up. Mm-hmm. But on the 18th of this month, we did close on our house. So yay. We officially got our house. Yay.
Had my sound effects ready.
Yeah. So the last week that we've been, and also it was Thanksgiving week, kids were out of school. I was able to take off work. Marcus was able to take a day off too before the holiday. So we've just been moving and just trying to get things together. That's what people, you guys we didn't have a break. We were off work, but we were working the whole time, like closing our house, doing that, moving our items, getting our new stuff delivered, all that. But we're in our house finally. So I'm just breathing out now because it was like a journey to get here. The thing I could tell you guys about home buying, like I said, this is where I'll delve in and go into a little bit of detail.
Tell your experience, like
for people who may be interested, because maybe this might help you. I mean, I know like you could YouTube stuff. I'm sure you can find whatever, but I'm here to give it to you from my point of view. Of
everybody's experience is different, but just tell how it went for you.
Yeah. For me, we had a mostly positive experience with a home buyer. I will say that. Because like I've heard some horror stories from like friends of ours, like who have bought houses before us, and some of the stories they tell us, people like, oh my gosh, like, oh no, like that. But our experience was actually mostly positive. Shout out, we had our cousin, he was our realtor, and he did a bang up job. So I appreciate everything that he did. Malcolm.
A good brother, Malcolm.
Appreciate everything he did. Like he looked out for us. But the thing I would say is to familiarize yourself with what you want and what you need, get you a list first. Write all your wants on one side, write all your needs on one side. That will help you determine that once you do start going out to these houses, what's a deal breaker and what's not a deal breaker. Like some stuff may seem like a deal breaker to you, but once you get out there, you see what inventory is available. It's not a deal breaker. You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Like people, I want to have
change your mind. Yeah.
I want to have. It's necessary that I have a bidet in the back. What? That's not a deal breaker. Having a bidet. I'm just throwing out something ridiculous, like a ridiculous example. You know.
never might as well relocate to Europe then if you want.
But it'd be stuff like where people get kind of, ridiculous, like with what they feel like they need in a house. So do that first. Get your wants and your needs together first. Then before you actually start to house hunt for real, start attending open houses, because open houses are a good way to kind of put your foot in.
See what's out there too.
To stick your foot in. And you're not wasting people's time, because once you start going to house hunt for real, then people are ready to sign a deal. Like for my house, I put an offer the same day after I saw my house. We put an offer right that same day. So it moves quick.
Yeah, you can't just go around looking at houses for
just don't go around looking at houses if you ain't got you ain't
like that. It's like what some people think that's the process. We just go around for months just looking it out. No, that's the open house phase. You do to that. Then ready when you have your ducks in a row, that's when you start seriously looking. If you don't, just go to open houses that way, because it's an open house. It's open house. Anybody can show up to that. That's what the purpose of it is. Open.
It's an open house, and you're not wasting the people's time, because you don't want to waste these people's time. You don't want to do that. So I say once you do your wants and your needs, okay, and then you do your open house phase, and then you're kind of getting your foot wet to see what's out there, what you want, what's in your price range, what's in the area that you want to live in. Okay, so then also simultaneously be looking at your credit. Know what's in your credit report, because if you don't know what's in your credit report, you will get screwed. If you don't know what's in there, you try to get approved for financing, you got a 580, you ain't getting approved for nothing. You not. You just not. So you gotta know what's in your credit report. Know what's going on with that at the same time. Be working to get your debt to income down, or DTI. Be working to get that down, because depending on what type of loan you get, if you get an FHA loan, you have to be under a certain percentage to get approved for it. So if you have a debt to income of 80%, you're not going to get approved. You're not. So you need to make sure that's
a lot of restrictions on the FHA loan. So you really got to have your shit together.
Right. Yeah. And then I would say also, prior to you getting the house, start your process at least a year in advance of just preparing yourself. That's why I would say, if you decide that I think I'm ready for a house, don't be planning to buy a house till next year. Basically, if you decide now,
as early as possibly even 2025 is when you should be planning for right now. It's
exactly
24 at the earliest, though. Yeah.
Because don't be you gotta prepare yourself, because it takes time. Like I said, you gotta make sure your credit's right. You got to make sure your debt to income is good. And the last part of that three-legged stand is you got to make sure you have assets. You got to have the money when you come in to prove that you can afford your house. You can't show up and be like, I got $500 in.
That's because they don't want another repeat of the 2008 crisis.
The 2008 recession. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Or that, that was, they were giving houses away during that, no money down, and or $1,000. They was
we saw that green and white sign everywhere, $1,000 down.
Yeah, if you were if you were in the market then, that's when you should have bought. It's because they were giving houses. Then after that, then they learned their lessons. After Freddie Mac. I think I said it right. Freddie Mac and Fannie, when they crashed and shit, whatever that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they were those are the programs that were just giving houses away, basically. Because I said a home ownership is the American dream. Yeah, if you can afford it. They have that disclaimer on there. It's the American dream if you can afford it.
You can afford it. Absolutely.
Everybody should be able to. But after the crash happened, how many of those houses got foreclosed on and people lost? A lot of people lost the hell because they couldn't afford them to begin. Yeah.
We saw a lot of short sales, a lot of those.
They shouldn't have been in those houses to begin with. That's a house no money down or $1,000. That was when they were having those programs during that time. Mm-hmm.
And so once you start working that, and then once let's say you got your stuff, okay, my credit score is good. My debt to income is good. Okay, I got some assets saved. And when we say assets, I would say be around at least low 5 figures as far as assets. That's what I'll say. have something like that you can show. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need that much at your closing, but you have to be able to show that because they need to see that you can afford your home.
That can fluctuate too, depending on what market you're in. If it's a local market that you might be able to get away with less, like if houses are cheaper in your market, it depends on
depending on what area you're in. Yeah, like I said, we live in Chicago, so we know what
Chicago's high. That's why across the country. If you were like in Mississippi, people would be like,
it might look
I could buy the whole house for that almost. Like so it depends on the market. It's like,
depends on the market. I'm speaking from Chicago. Let me put my disclaimer. I'm speaking from Chicago. Now, obviously, if you go to California, New York, then
you're like,
bless your heart. If you try to go to California, bless your heart.
Mississippi or Alabama, then you can buy the 5-bed, 3-bed for like $50,000. That's like that's like different markets. Like I said, it's like so it depends on where you're at. Just like so, know your market. Like do that research too. Like know the market.
Do that research with that. Yeah. So
we got listeners everywhere. That's why they wanted to make it Chicago. We got people in Dublin.
We got listeners everywhere. That's right. Yeah.
Everywhere. That's why.
Well, I'm just saying from Chicago standpoint, Chicago.
She's talking about your experience personally. Yeah. So like your personal experience. Yeah. You want lower 10 in assets. Yeah. Lower 5 figures in assets.
Yeah. Lower 5 figures in assets just to show that you have that. And assets for purposes. Assets means like your checking account, your savings account. If you have an IRA, if you have any investment accounts, anything like that would be considered an asset. If you potentially have other real estate, that's an asset. Yeah. Anything like that would be considered an asset. So you guys show that you can afford your house. So then once you start the process, okay, like I said, it goes super fast. Marcus and I, when we first started the home buying, we saw a house that we really liked initially at first. And we put a bid on it same day, put a bid on it, worked it out, negotiated the price, and we were ready.
We had everything you wanted checked off most of the boxes that you
checked off most of our boxes. Bad thing was we went in, like I said, the house was the owner was still in the home, which is not necessarily a deal breaker, but it's like the owner, particularly, like she was kind of a hoarder. I'll just say like that. It was like this shit everywhere. She was a hoarder. But looking at the house, we're like, it's just junky, but it's a nice house. Like, like once you get the shit out, this is a nice house.
Yeah, it's like
shit out isn't a big deal to me.
Once you get the cat, get rid of the cats, it'll be
get rid of the cats. Yeah,
the cats technically own the house.
And that lady had 2 dogs in her house. But
she really did have animals. Dogs probably own the house too.
Yeah, she had 2 dogs. But like when we went and did the inspection, and that's like I said, these are tips I'm giving. You're buying a house. Do not buy a house sight unseen. Do not buy a house without getting a home inspection. These are things that you should not do, because I know someone who did that. You should not buy a house without actually going in and doing all your research. So we had the home inspector come out with us. We went, the outside was pretty decent. It was like minimal things on the outside, just normal maintenance stuff. He's like, okay, this is just normal stuff that needs to be done with tuck point, normal maintenance stuff or whatever. We get inside the house, he starts going and stuff. It was significant water damage in that home, and it was mold in the house.
Yep. You going you dig in deep, then you start seeing shit. Yeah.
So he dug in, and like I said, he was a bang up inspector. So like, like I will always like his stuff. I'm gonna share his stuff on my Facebook again. Like, you need a good inspector. He's the truth. He's really good.
Because I'm not speaking from experience, but just throwing, I have an opinion. We all have opinions about shit. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's with FHA, the inspector is required, correct? And then I know if you ban conventional, conventional is optional. That's why you say like you get an inspector, because like you buy conventional, you might not need one, but yeah, you should have one anyway, because shit like that happens. Yeah. I think FHA is probably required because like the loan.
I think it is. I think FHA is.
Probably can't even get the loan unless you have an inspection. Yeah. I know conventional is optional because I've gone through this process without actually buying it because I I had a real estate agent was doing the looking, but then 2020 kicked me in the ass. And that's a whole nother conversation. So, and they were explaining that is like, yeah, if you go conventional, then it's like you don't necessarily need an inspection, but shit could still happen. So you should still have one anyway. Yeah, but with
it's
FHA,
basically insurance. It's insurance
required. FHA is required. Yeah.
But like we went in and like I said, it was mold, it was wire damage, it was because when he was walking through, he's like, "Oh, the house is talking to me." I'm like, "Oh shit!" He said that. I already knew it. He said the house was talking. I was like, "Oh my God."
Price is Wrong sound effect. Doom, 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 doom.
That's how it was.
I should have found the sound effects later.
So like once, like I said, we wasn't even finished with the inspection. As he just was like mounting on stuff, Marcus was like, "Yeah, we need our earnest money back because when you put an offer in the house, I forgot to say you got to put earnest money down for your house." That's basically holds your spot.
That's just so you're serious.
It basically just holds your spot. It holds your spot for you.
Anybody could say they want the fucking house and like have like 2 nickels in their pocket. That's
exactly. You gotta put something
that. Oh, you serious? Yeah, because nobody's gonna fuck around and put actual money on the house, dicking around.
Earnest money typically is a couple of $1,000s down. It's typically a couple, depending on how much your house is and everything. It's typically a couple thousand just to basically show that you're serious about this house. And Marcus was like, "Yeah, we gonna pull out this deal." We was like, "Yeah, we was like, yeah, we went out." And the thing about deals is that even if you get all the way almost to the finish line, you can still pull out the very end. You can always pull out. Like I said, until you do the closing, you sign, then you get the keys. Now it's your house. But anything before that, you can pull out. You can pull out anytime you can. So that's the thing that you get, like, you shouldn't get so.
That happens. Yeah. I'll tell a personal story again.
It happens.
That would happen with my lady, like Lindoria. Her friend is on the other side. She's selling her house right now. She has a friend that's selling. And then like the day before the closing, the buyers pulled out of the deal. I don't know what happened, but yeah, that actually literally happened a few weeks back. Because her friend is relocating to another city, and so she's selling her house here. And then like the day before, like they pulled out, so now it flipped all of that upside down. So now she still got the house here, and I was already moved to the new location, so it's a mess now and all that. Because like literally the day before, like they pulled out of the deal. So that does happen, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry that happened to her. I'm sorry. Jeez, because that's like the worst feeling. Because like we said, at any time before.
Yeah, you got it done. Yeah, you moved all your shit out. It's like, okay, just got to get this deal done. And then I don't know what happened with the buyers, but they pulled out of it.
And that's what Malcolm said. He said, anytime, he said, you're not locked in. That's what Malcolm kept on reiterating. He said, anytime, he said, like, if one or both parties wants to walk away, you guys can walk away, at no fault. Either party, you guys can walk away from this deal. So don't feel like you're locked in, you're forced into this deal. So we definitely walked away from that house once we saw the mold, and we went out of that house. Like we didn't move in this house. So then we were a little bummed because we're like, okay, now we gotta start over and do our search again.
Thought you had found your perfect home.
Now we found it.
Except it wasn't, and shit.
Yeah. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Then we started looking, we found a couple of houses that this is nice. And we started getting closer to what we liked. And then Marcus actually found a house that we're in now. He found it online. He was like, "Oh,
right now, yeah."
He was like, "This might be our house," because he found it himself. And once again,
I had even suggested a house for you, so everybody was getting in on the project. The process. I sent you a link to one house.
You sent me a link to some,
So everybody wanted to help you because I know you were bummed about losing that, not getting that house. So that's why everybody wanted to get in on it. Well, check this one out. Okay, how about this one? As I said, but it turns out we found a perfect house for you.
Yeah, Marcus found it. He was like, okay. He was like, it looks like it checks off our boxes, and he's like, I think that this is our house. So then when we got over, they was like, okay, it was people that was still living here. And I'm like, okay, more people live. Okay, we going through this again. I'm like, okay, let's see what they got to offer. Okay,
because that can be a mess too. Because you take a risk with that too. Like if what if they don't vacate after the closing?
Exactly.
You can't just kick the door in and like sit people's shit out. Like that really happens. It's like
yeah, I've seen that happen. I've seen videos.
Stories about that. Yeah, well, like Yeah, we had that. Well, yeah, I won't. Yeah, in the family that happened with a family member.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the seller though, and they had, but they had a multi-unit, and there was a tenant in one of the units that they couldn't get the fuck out of there.
They be out. Yeah, they wouldn't vacate.
So yeah, that yeah, you take that risk when you purchase a property that's already occupied. It's like the person that, because what they call squatters' rights are really a thing.
Yeah.
They
Because
can
I
just
saw a video today.
feel like, yeah, I'll feel like moving there, even though like they took your money and all that shit. You know what? I don't feel like.
I want to say it was California because the guy just was refusing to leave, and then when they were trying to open the back door, then he came out like swinging something. He was like he just didn't want to leave. Like he was like, no. I'd
have broke all kinds of laws. Yeah. And I'm saying is the amendment in between the first and the third, and I'll leave it. I'd exercised my rights and got him the fuck out of there and shit.
Because he came out swinging, he was I was like,
I'm the well-regulated militia that's being necessary to get him the fuck out of here. So the right of me to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. God damn it.
There we was like, okay, we should be able to. We was like, okay, and then Malcolm was like, okay, well, we can come and visit them. And then when we found out, okay, they were an older couple, we're like, okay, they're an older couple, so that may be a good sign, because
it might, that might be less likely to be knuckleheads,
right? Especially like depending on like the area that you move in. Like in certain neighborhoods, it's like several neighborhoods are the type of neighborhoods that once somebody moves in, they typically stay, and then they don't leave until like, okay, the house is too big, I need to downsize. And then
start aging out, yeah. Like, yeah. Or it might want
to. And that's what happened with our house.
Warmer, like that happens, yeah. Like, yeah.
I think the couple, the house just got too big for them because they seemed like they were empty nesters.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just too big for you. So I was like, okay, they're older. Okay. So then we get to the house and we get inside. Everything, it looked like the house was staged, but it was their stuff. It was their actual furniture, but it looked like it was staged. I was like, oh my gosh.
Like you were on a set of a TV show or movie.
Yeah, it looked like it was staged, but that was their stuff. That was their actual stuff. And they had jazz music playing, they had incense burning, they had all this.
I think y'all were over at CineSpace Studios over on the west.
And we was like, okay. And then when they were showing us,
got some nice stages over there. You would think you would actually somebody's house for real and shit.
When they gave us the tour, we walked through, saw everything, lots of storage, plenty of room for us to grow into. We're not having no more kids. We have extra rooms, but we ain't having no more kids. I will reiterate that. But we have plenty of space now. And like as soon as we got outside, we was like, I'm trying not to, because you don't want to seem too eager. I'm like,
your gut, you knew that was the house, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I want this house.
Try to keep your poker face going, but you knew that this is the house. This is it.
But Marcus saw his area in the basement. He's like, okay. He saw his man cave spot. He's like, okay, this is me.
I'm sure he's in right now to record this.
Probably
in his man peek behind the curtain. We're recording this while the Bears are playing, so he's probably in the motherfucker right now.
I said, I'm gonna hear it going forward. I'm gonna hear that tomorrow. All night.
And Sunday.
Yeah, he's gonna be watching. He was watching college football on Saturday.
I love the fucking fight songs and shit because we grew up.
Priority. The first thing he did when he came in was make sure that he hooked up the stuff to hook up his TVs to have like the mouse. Prioritize, right? That was a priority.
Yeah, we'll get the electronics right. Yeah.
So. Make sure the electronics were mounted properly. That was Marcus's.
I'm gonna do that
priority.
Because I'm doing a move too. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna get my
make sure everything was mounted properly. That was his that was his thing. So then what he did was, so then like we get outside and we're like, okay, and we're like, okay, what are we gonna offer? We try to like drop our number. Did a little bit of back and forth negotiating. We both came in the middle, both of us. They came here, we came in the middle, and we reached an agreement. We put it in. He was like, we want this. Like I said, same day after we saw the house, we put in an offer that evening. It goes fast. You gotta put it in, and then
Especially if you're in a hot area,
yeah.
Don't stick around. And it's like you in
It's not gonna stick around
in the area
like that
because you want to be cheap and shit. It's like, yeah. It's like, bro, I'm gonna get the perfect deal, and now you just look at your fucking Zillow or whatever, and it says
contingent.
House looked at like 2 days ago. It's like it's contingent because you dicked around and shit.
Mm-hmm. And then when they said they accepted our offer, so then we did it again, earn this money in, and then we're like, okay, inspector, we got our inspector back out. We're like, please. Inside,
there's no bullshit inside of these walls.
He goes in super minimal stuff, nothing drastic at all. He was like, oh yeah, this is a lot better. He was like, man, because that other house, he was like, ooh. But he was like, nah, he was like, this was good. So, he wrote up the list of the stuff that the previous owners had to do before we closed, the little things that they needed to do and address. They took care of that. They sent us the proof of bill for that, the bill of sale of what they did, so we could give it. Oh, and also get you a real estate attorney. Do not be cheap, because your real estate attorney is going to be in there making sure your deals are going to get, your deals are going to close, right?
Make sure you're getting a fair deal.
Yeah. And they ain't going to dick around with stuff. So make sure that you get a good one. Like I said, because I had a good real estate attorney too.
Shout out.
Tiffany, thank you.
Tiffany.
So
shout her out.
So she actually was on it, because I was watching her in the closing, and she called and was like, she was in there. I was like, so yeah. But you gotta make sure that your stuff is in line. Everything went well. So then the next phase after that, we're like, okay, we're getting ready to move up. Then after the inspection went through, they did the stuff, they fixed the stuff. Now an appraiser had to come out. So the appraiser came out, and we're like, okay.
Appraiser is going to tell you how much the house
has to appraise for what they say, what they're selling it for. It has to match.
You might say, the house is you want this much. They're going to tell you what it's actually worth. Okay, this is how much this house.
A lot of people get the sentimental value when they get attached to something. It's like, it ain't worth that.
Appraiser is that neutral look that they're going to give is, okay, this is how much your house is worth.
My house is worth $400,000. It's worth $320 at most. It's not worth $400. It's not worth that. Because you have sentimental value in your home. So, the appraiser came out and the house appraised well. So I was like, so now we can move forward.
It was in the neighborhood of what you were offering, or
It was. So it was, everything moved on, and then we went in and had a minor hiccup that happened. So we had some paint on the outside, but we were able to work that out. And then they was like, okay, you're clear to close. And that's the phrase that you need to get. You need to get clear to close. When you're clear to close, now you can meet your closing. So when you're clear to close, you gotta bring your down payment, plus everybody gets their payment. So your lawyer gets paid, your real estate agent gets paid, the broker, everybody gets their money. Everybody's money is in that you get. So they work out this formula where you'll see this long drawn out formula in your papers. And then, if you get any credits, let's say you get down payment assistant credit, that'll come off. Let's say you get closing credits, that'll come off. So you get you can get some credits to help take that number down. So, but you guys show up and have a certain amount. Like when they tell you
the number is the number, basically.
The number is the number. So if they tell you, okay, you're clear to close, you gotta bring $16,000 to closing. You gotta have a $16,000 cashier's check. You gotta have that when you go to your closing. And then after they back out everything, it may be some left. So then when you give them that check, they'll give you the difference. Like I said, if it's overage or whatever, then they'll cut you a check right there with the overage and say, oh, okay, we actually didn't need that much. You get back $1,500, and then they'll cut you a check right there. So that's how it works or whatever. And then once that happens, you get before you do your closing, you got to do your final walkthrough. So do your walkthrough, because if you don't do your walkthrough, it's on you. It's on you if you don't do that walkthrough, because a lot can happen between like the time that you saw the house and the time that you close.
Yeah. Anything can happen.
It's typically closing, like you might close in like 30, 45 days, something like that. Closing you like 30 or 45 days.
Anything can happen in 30.
But that anything can happen in that time frame. You go in, it's a hole in the ceiling now, but you didn't do the walkthrough. Once you sign off and get the keys, it's your house now. It's yours. So we did the walkthrough before we did the closing that day. So then we went that same day. We did the final walkthrough. They were already boxed up, ready to go because they were like, yeah, because they were closing on their property too to move. So we're like,
they were just as anxious as you because
they were ready to go too.
They got their place. They're trying to get in. Yeah, we said we gotta move our shit too. So yeah.
And then we closed. We got the keys. So then officially, like I said, we closed that Friday. So then we came back. They were officially gone that too. So we officially took ownership of the house that Wednesday because they needed a couple of days just to get their items out or whatever. And what you can do in that instance is, this is why you need a real estate attorney. Like I said, I didn't know this, and how they explained it to me, you could actually charge them rent to stay there, basically. So whatever your mortgage payment is, you divide by 30, and then depending on how many days they stay there extra, you're charging them that money per day for them staying there. So that's how that works. Like I said, they need a couple of days. Like, okay, you need a couple of days just to get your stuff out. Okay, they need like 3 days to get their stuff out.
Yeah, because not everybody is moved out already. Like you said, so where some people moved before they put the house on the market, but it's different types of like moves. Yeah, like they stayed there pretty much till like the end. Yeah, because like I said, they had to wait for their new property to close as well.
Yeah, they had to wait to close on their stuff, and then we had to close. So we were trying to sync everybody. Was trying to sync together. Like our closing was trying to be synced. So our closing's pretty much matched up. So no one was left really, uncomfortable. Nobody was left uncomfortable, which was a good feeling. Yeah. And then we officially came over here, and then we've just been nonstop. Obviously, nothing got done on Thursday because Thursday was Thanksgiving. So nothing got done that day. I mean, we moved some minor stuff over like ourselves, like we moved some like clothes, I think, ourselves or whatever. But nothing big got done that day because obviously it was a holiday. And like we talked about last week, everybody was closed. Well, a lot of big retailers were closed, which is good.
Almost all of them were. Yeah.
The big ones. The only ones that were open, obviously, like grocery stores open because people do have to eat. So that's a necessity.
And those have always been open. Yeah,
those have always been open. Yeah, grocery stores.
They close early, but they've always been open.
Yeah. The grocery stores being open is fine, but like
Black Friday stuff is a recent phenomenon as far as like
Best Buy. Why are you open?
Opening day is a recent phenomenon because like back in my day, I'll go back and it's like how it is this year. It's like you'd open at like 5, 6 in the morning.
5 a.m. on Friday.
5, 6 in the morning, like most retailers. I go old school. Like if you were Montgomery Wards or Sears or like you
Sears.
Open 5, 6
service merchandise.
At 5 or 6 in the morning. If you were like one of those at Circuit City and say if you're one of those naming all the dead retailers, if you were like one of those, like you would open around open 5 a.m. or open 6 a.m.
Wix furniture.
You will be open like early on
at
that
5 or 6 in the morning. Right.
Real Store actually went to Montgomery Wards on a Black Friday, bought a VCR DVD combo back in the day. It's back in the 90s.
We just showed off our age, but it's okay.
Back in the 90s, damn it, yeah. Actually, when Montgomery Wards at Evergreen Plaza, I'm really showing my age. The Montgomery Wards at the Plaza. I went there like 6 in the morning. Got the DVD VCR combo.
Nice.
Really did that. And then the guys, they started getting competitive. They said, okay, like you open at 5 a.m., we're going to open at 3 a.m. Okay, open at 3, we'll open at midnight. It's like you get getting pushed up. Open at midnight, okay, we'll open at 9 p.m. Then it's like 9 p.m., okay, we'll open at 6 p.m. And then that eventually led to where we're at like recent years, open at 3 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day. Well, they would say Thursday at 3 p.m. They wouldn't even acknowledge Thanksgiving.
Thursday at 2 p.m. Mm-hmm. Get these sales. Fuck your turkey.
That's where we end up eventually, yeah. But then 2020 happened, like I said, which is one of the positives is like it got rid of all of that. Because I wasn't shit open on none of the stores, unless they were essential. None of them were open on that Black Friday sales and shit. And
So
then
it showed that maybe we need to dial back some and really go back to
going back to the way it was back in
go back to the original purpose
open up
is
5,
to be with your
6 a.m.
family.
on Friday. Yeah. I mean, that's
Go
plenty
back
of
to
time to shop. Yes.
So that was me in a nutshell, basically. So that was my experience. Like I said, mostly positive. Like I said, I had the one hiccup with the moldy house. Say it like that, the molded house. But when I did get my house, the second time was that I didn't have to do third times a charm. I got it on the second try. So I was happy we got it on the second
Second
try.
time around. Wasn't that an awful sitcom from some years?
Yeah, with Boris Kojo and Nicole Ari Parker.
I forgot who was on it. That's hilarious though. It sounds terrible, but
And Brian White and Danielle Nicolay were on it. Why do I remember randomly? I remember like the cast and all that, but whatever. Don't judge me.
the other show that she was on. It was some show when she was like celibate or something. Like she's been on a bunch of stinkers.
Oh, she was on that show with Tank with she was celibate.
Hey, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
I know what it's called.
I don't know the
Eva
name.
Marcel was on it. I can't remember the name of it.
I just remember Two Dick Tank and her were on it. That's all I remember. Who else is watching Tank on the Soul Train Awards last night? Shout out Tank. I won't call him Two Dick Tank anymore. That was wrong. Even though he's the one who said it, but I can't say I'm dissing him if I'm using his own words. He said the shit. And unprompted too. He said that shit on his own. Nobody provoked him. He said that shit without being forced to. He said that shit on his own.
But that's my experience, you guys. So
how do you feel? How does it feel to be sitting in your own home?
It feels peaceful. Like, I mean, obviously, once everything gets unpacked, like I said, we got the big stuff. We got our furniture here. So that was important to make sure that we got our layout set. But now it's just going to be about making the touches to make it a home, to make our house really a home. Like I said, obviously, we have to give everything a home, still unpack stuff. I think I'm just going to do like one box at a time. Like I'm just going to take my time because I'm exhausted. I was so tired Friday night. I was exhausted. I was like, oh my God, I'm so tired. And Saturday, I was still tired, but I feel better today. I do feel a lot better. But I'm going to do like one box at a time until like everything is put away and in its new rightful spot. Oh, and like a side note, think about when you're moving, a thing that you don't think about. Like my kids were so excited because they got their own room now. They were just like, oh, my room, it's big. They were just super excited. They got their own room.
First time. So it's like new to them having their own room.
They got their TV in there. They each got their own TV. So no more fighting.
Fighting over who gets to what wheel. We know about that from back then. No more fighting
over Khalil, you go over here and watch these monster truck videos. Ariana, you go over here, you watch the squishy slime, whatever, the squishy things, whatever she be watching. You go over there and watch that. But the thing that you don't think about that, like, and this is the thing, I'm giving you guys a tip. Your animals they may be resistant when they first move in.
They gotta explore their surroundings, yeah.
Because when we brought Hercules in, we put the carrier down, we opened the carrier. He would not come out of his carrier.
Stayed in for a while.
Come out.
Before he got comfortable, he stayed in it.
He would not come out. And then finally, when he came out, he found a corner in the bathroom and he went in the bathroom and just was in the corner, just like in the corner. Like he would not come out. We were like, okay. So we were trying to
Hercules since he was a kitten, so the only home he knows is the one you were in.
It's the one we were in, yeah.
So
we adopted Hercules when he was 2 months old. We adopted him.
Yeah, that's all he knows. So anywhere else is like, okay, what's this?
What's this? Because he was really like, I felt so bad for him because he was just so afraid. And then he started exploring a little bit more. He was like smelling and just explore a little.
Because our cat said when Lindoria went out of town, I kept Allie. So she didn't come out of the carrier right away either. And
they don't play that.
Then she started sniffing around about an hour later. Like
yeah, they don't play that.
And then after that, she was just up under me the whole time. So like she got comfortable. She wouldn't leave. Mm-hmm. She wouldn't leave my side.
They don't play that. When the furniture people came and delivered our furniture, Hercules was hiding under the bed. He did not move because I was trying to find him so I could put him up. I was like, And when I found, I was like, oh, he's under the bed. They was like, oh, if he's under the bed, they was like, he ain't gonna come out. So they was like, we can get in and
That's
get
one
out.
thing
Yeah.
cats know how to do is like stay out of sight.
All right. They was like, oh, they was like, we can get in and out before, because I know like you're supposed to put your pets up when they come in. You know, I just didn't want anything to happen. And they was like, oh, he's
the ones you really got to worry about, yeah, because like dogs be all over the place. Cats know how to like, get the fuck out of sight. Shit, oh, yeah.
Dog. And he hid in our closet, like. But Hercules has been exploring now more. Like he's been exploring more today. Like I mean,
he'll be comfortable. It's new there. Like I said,
he's getting more
comfortable. The house he knows is the other one. Yeah, so yeah, it's he'll get comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to him really just exploring his new house, his new surroundings, because he has a lot of space to run around, a lot of space to really spread out. I could almost make a Hercules room just for him. He can have his own room. I could pretty much do that now.
That's the definition of first world problems there. Got his own room. So
he can have his own room too. Hercules can have his own room too. No, I'm not going to be that person that gives a cat.
You're going to put the TV in Hercules' room playing cat?
No, I'm not doing that.
Cat videos all day.
He watches The Secret Life of Pets. No.
Super Pets. So that movie that came out with Kevin Hart.
I watch that.
Wayne. That's on HBO, I believe. Yeah, so
because Batman is in it. Yeah.
Because Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart, they played cartoon pets basically. It's like that's what it is.
Okay. Might have a movie night to watch on the big TV.
There it is. Yeah.
Watch that with the kids.
Which I like them together. Yeah, like I like Kevin Hart and Ice Cube too, but I think him and Dwayne I like better.
I like the buddy comedy. I'm glad that those are starting to come back now. Buddy comedies.
Yeah. So awesome.
Yes. So anybody who has any additional questions, like I said, I'm here. If you want to hit me up and I can delve into some more things. But that was my synopsis. I know it a little bit but longer, but it's like it's a process. It is.
Well, mine nowhere near as long, so I'm going through a move too. I didn't buy, I'm just moving into your previous person. So there it is.
There it is.
It's my synopsis.
Yeah, short synopsis.
It's a little stressful, yeah, like the move because I hate moving.
Yeah, movement is a pits.
Yeah,
it's the pits. It's a pain in the ass to move, but the reward is worth it. Like we were like, okay, we didn't get a break. Like I said, even though we were off work, and it's like, okay, you were off work all this time. I was off work, but I was still working the whole time. But with like the reward is going to be.
You got it going home and shit. Yeah, like
the reward is worth it.
That's worth any rest and shit. Yeah,
yeah, that's the reward. So I'll catch up on sleep later.
Sleeping and catch up sleep in your new home. Damn it, that's where you catch up on sleep at.
Yeah, I raised the roof. I know I'm old.
All right. Oh, talk about some of these other things that have happened there. Let's go back. I mentioned Soul Trains. Let's talk about the award show. Like we had a couple of award show, some award show news. A Soul Train was Saturday night. You probably were asleep there. I don't know if you fell asleep after your week. Yeah.
I was asleep.
Saturday.
I went to bed. I don't even remember. I got in the bed. I was like, I'm taking a brief nap because I was taking a nap. I woke up. It was 3:00 in the morning. Yeah.
But Escape, they got honored with the Lady of Soul Award. Shout out them.
Hey.
Tamika, Tiny, Candy, and Latasha. I always forget the other one. Yeah, they got the Lady of Soul. So like shout them out. And also shout out the legendary Morris Day and the Time got the Lifetime Achievement Award. Yes. That's what I was there for. And then of course they did the hits. Like it was Morris and Jerome. I don't know where the other Time members was. They had like a bootleg band up there. It's like I want to see Jesse and Jelly Bean and Jimmy and Terry and Monty. I want to see those guys. It's like they get with it. But it was cool. You had Morris and Jerome, so it still was fun. They did Cool. They did 7779311. They did Jungle Love. They did The Bird. It's like they were up there doing all that shit.
I'm here for Jungle Love, so I can do the dance.
Oh, they did. They still hit all of the moves too. Like yeah.
Oh, Jesse, not Jerome. Yes, he gets a mirror.
Check it out.
Now I want to watch Purple Rain, but
that definitely makes you want to watch Purple Rain hearing those songs. Why don't you stay for a while? See how it's done. Yeah. There's a verses right there. The time versus the revolution. Ooh. Ooh. A lot of people say Prince because of the revolution because of Prince, but don't sleep on the motherfucking time. No,
yeah, don't sleep on the time, like you said.
Don't sleep on the time. They had hits.
See,
yeah, they did. What's that spell? Yeah, so that was good. And I know you heard about the AMA controversy with Chris Brown. He was supposed to do his tribute.
It's like, why did they?
And they pulled him last minute. Like, I don't know why.
They didn't explain why they pulled it.
I think the AMAs gave some fucking bootleg explanation.
They gave a bullshit response.
I'll pull up the response they gave, the AMA's official response.
And that would have rocked because I think Sierra would have been on it too with Chris Brown. I think that she was going to do. Because I saw the video of what the performance, like of them in practice, what the performance should have looked like. And it looked really dope, like the performance.
Yeah, because
like
some practice footage has leaked. Yeah,
it was a nice medley of Michael Jackson songs because the tribute, obviously, it was a 40th anniversary of Thriller. So, I mean, huge, like on the grooves, they've been playing nothing but Michael Jackson since, Thriller came out 40 years ago.
They released a special edition of the Thriller album, like with more content. Yeah, like
more content. Yeah, which I want to find.
40th edition. Yeah, and then how you gonna pull Chris Brown's ass? Which I can't.
Like that was the fact that you just pull it with like days before the performance. It's like.
Here's what they said. They said they pulled the tribute not because of Chris Brown, but because of a matter of creative direction. That sounds suspect, that explanation.
What's
creative direction? Give I want more. Yeah. It was the creative direction that you were having with Chris Brown.
It sounds kind of shady to me, but that's just me. Because they're like recently some footage, the video that he did like 5 years ago talking about it was like he did like an interview, like a documentary, something he was talking about the whole incident that happened with him and Rihanna. And that video like recently resurfaced. That documentary, it was from 5 years ago. Mind you that it was from 5 years ago.
The incident was in 2009. That's how long.
Yeah, but this was like from 5 years ago, this documentary. And he was basically, saying like what happened, how everything went down that night. And he was, he took accountability for what he did. He took accountability. And then he was just giving his side of what was done. He was giving his side.
Which it was more to that story. It wasn't just like he just like balled his hand up and knocked the chick out. It's like what it was like they were like going at back and forth, and
they were arguing.
But it's like it turned.
And it was an incident where cooler heads could have prevailed if they were able to separate because they were in a car.
Yeah,
a car is a small thing, so like if you're in an argument with somebody in a car, it can go ugly fast because you don't have room to, like if you have a large space, you can separate out. But if you're in a car, you're right there, right in each other's face, and so a lot of things can happen. Like stuff can escalate when you're in that tight of a space. So. But I think that it does just suck that they just kind of just,
it's like, they whatever he's I don't want to go down there.
Yeah, they pulled it.
Wow.
I think it would have been a good performance. The performance I saw, the video I saw of what would have been the performance, I was highly entertained by it, and that would have been good. So hopefully they can use that performance at another awards show. It'll be others.
Yeah.
Let's make up a fake awards show. The Keeping It Real Awards.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
The CB Awards, I was gonna say. It's Chris Brown. Let's go. The CBs. Won a CB, damn it.
Down for my homies. Like just make up something. Make up
right here. We did it, mama.
I call it Keeping It Real Awards. Let's do that. And let's just make up an award and let's have Chris Brown perform at that.
Yeah. Let's talk about August Alsina. Another entanglement. This time with a dude. It's like because it's a new season of the Surreal Life. They brought it back. That's right. He's August Alsina is on the version of it. And it seems like he apparently may or may not have come out. He shouted out his boyfriend or some shit. They exchanged "I love you." So I don't. Was that entanglement like fucked his head up so bad that he joined the other team and shit?
I don't know. That's how I said. Did he actually come out or not? Because it's like it was like the way that he said something about love, and then this person talking about love, and then it was obviously a man, and then he hugged him, but he didn't do anything like romantic.
Lovers or not, yeah. Like I don't know.
But it's like love could mean
so vague. The shit is like
love can mean anything. Like love can mean it could mean not romantic, but I don't know. And he hasn't really addressed anything further since it. So
Alsina never addresses shit as everybody else did.
He just is leaving.
Never talked about the entanglement, really. Yeah, he never really even talked about that, to be honest.
He's leaving it up for your interpretation. So he may or may not have come out. So I mean, if he did, good for him. If he did,
I might check out the new Surreal Life.
Dennis Rodman
had me into well. I saw Dennis is on there, so I was totally into it. It's like I watched.
Stormy Daniels on there too.
Army's on there, yeah. It's like when I saw Dennis Rodman, I was like, okay, I'm in.
Kim Cole's on there. Yeah, I imagine that.
I think Kim. Let's look up the fucking cast for this stupid ass show.
I think Kim Cole's is on there. I think.
We are living.
Well, I was looking at some of those names. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right. Because I mean, before they had Ron Jeremy and
he'll be on the new season, the reboot of Oz. That's what he's gonna be on.
I looked away. And then rest in peace, Vern Troy was on there, aka Mini B. The Brat was on there before.
Then Peter Brady and old girl from the Top Model. This is where they met on the Surreal Life. They ended up
getting what you call him there. Eric Estrada, wasn't he on the Surreal Life?
Flavor Flav and Bridget Nielsen, they met on that show and they ended up getting their own show and shit. Flavor Flav. Okay, I'm pulling the cast. Okay, yeah. August Alsina, Dennis Rodman, Frankie Muniz. Wasn't that
Malcolm in the Middle? Okay.
Kim Coles, you were right. Stormy Daniels. Tamar is on the show. Okay, I'm down. I'm interested in this. CJ Perry, who used to play Lana in WWE, the Ravishing Russian. Heck, she was
I don't know who that is. Okay.
I'm a wrestling fan, so
I think because I don't watch.
So yeah, and then some guy I don't know, like everybody else I know. Yeah.
It's always like a vague
person
who's semi-famous, but it's always like one of those on there.
DeVille was on one of those old ones, and like who was like who the fuck? It was CC DeVille, wasn't his name? He was like,
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
like from one of the non-famous members of some.
Oh, the band's one of those hair bands or something, right?
I say he's like in Poison, but like he wasn't one of the famous ones. I just made that up. I don't even know what band he was in. Let's look him up and find out what season he was on. So I want to know. Oh yeah, China used to be on the show. Rest in peace, the late China. Yeah. She was on there.
I remember she was on there. Mm-hmm. I remember X-Pac showed up or something, and he was trying to get her back or something. It was
like post-sex tape and all that.
It was very cringe. It was extremely cringe the way he showed up, like manipulating her. Like he was very.
Peppa was on a season.
Yeah, I remember Peppa when she was on there. I remember that.
Omarosa, let's go. She was making her reality TV rounds. God damn it, for a minute.
He said, I'm gonna get this reality TV money. I ain't mad at her.
I can't find that asshole that I just said. Give up. Like the fat ass strong dad, I give up. Charo was on there. I totally forgot about that.
I remember Charo on there because Flavor was talking to her.
And then he was like, know what the fuck she was talking about. Gucci.
He was like, Gucci.
I think Charo was she slow and shit.
I like Charo. She's entertaining. I like
DeVille. I found the fucking asshole. He wasn't Poison. I know what the fuck.
Okay, see, you were right. Because I had no idea. I was like, he was in a hair band. I just knew that he was in a hair band.
Don't ask me how I know that. I just threw that out there and it was true. I'll be just doing shit like that. That's the group he was in. That's hilarious. George Jefferson was on an episode. Weezy. Is that it? I think we can might have a couple of quick hot takes and shit. But since we talked about Stormy Daniels and Trump, and let's talk about who else is running for president in 2024. Ye has officially announced his candidacy. That's right, Kanye 2024, huh? Ye is running for president in 2024. We got Ye running. He said he wants Trump to be his running mate. Of course, that ain't gonna happen. He wants Trump to be his vice president.
Yeah, it's too many alphas in the.
That ain't.
Like they both are ridiculously. They're both like the same ego. So
Kanye's a loser. I'll never be his vice president. He's a loser.
That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. It's just not.
Oh, that shit. And then just a couple of quick takes. We're gonna wrap this up. We went long already with the about the move and all of that. So Jerry Jones, did you see that scandal? An old photo, racist photo. Let's pull it up.
Oh yeah.
That was Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that because I was like,
yeah, it's definitely.
Because I names like I didn't know the name offhand. Yeah, I definitely saw that the Dallas Cowboy photo.
I'm trying to find it right here. Let's get it. Well, I have a version of it. Yeah, let's see.
Because they circled his picture. They're like,
yeah, they pointed him out. I was like, that's him right there. And then he admitted the shit. He's like, yeah, that was me and shit, but yeah, I wasn't there being racist or whatever the fuck he said.
I wasn't racist. I had a black friend.
That's it. That is Jerry. Look at him. This like that's the same dude that was like 57, but
same nose.
Yep. Yeah. It's like ears is like that's definitely him. And of course, but yeah, this is a little on Arkansas. Get that out of here. Get that out of here. Pop up. Well, the pop up came now, but what the funny shit was like in the comment section, people just started roasting all of these motherfuckers. Like this dude,
look at him in the front.
They oh, Biff Tannen looking motherfucker. People started.
He looks like a greaser. It looks like he should be go grease lightning, go grease lightning, go grease lightning. He's like that.
It was like this dude right here definitely looks evil. No, he didn't definitely strung somebody up. Look at that look on his face. People just started roasting the whole picture. Like this greaser dude. I called him Biff Tannen, the greaser dude. That's old Biff looking motherfucker.
I said he like one of the grease lightning guys. Like he should be with the T-Birds, John Travolta and him.
But it's funny how everybody but I get it if you're a Cowboys fan, you're gonna come to his defense like that. But to me, that's just I would have just sat that one out. It's like I'd be like, I ain't commenting on it. Because now everybody like I think Steven had some shit and all of that. Just because now people are comparing. People are comparing. It's like, okay, you got all this smoke for Kyrie, but like before a dude that was like in there, this racist photo.
Segregation photo.
Now you got every excuse in the world for him. It's like it.
Well, I'll say it like this: everybody has a past, and unfortunately, a lot of people's pasts are ugly. A lot of pasts are ugly.
Yeah.
So you start digging in people's closets, you find all type of shit in their closets. So
real shit right there.
Hey, at least he was like, "Oh, that wasn't me." At least he owned up and said it was me. At least he admitted that. So I will give him that.
Yeah. And it is and if you in his defense, if which I'm not about to defend his ass, he did say that he was there, but he wasn't there protesting the black kids. It's like which he is just standing there kind of looking. So yeah, he might have a leg to stand on.
So is he basically the black guy that walked in on January 6th? Is he that basically maybe?
Black girl in the bubble coat, yeah. Who I want to know who that dude is in his story.
Is he the black guy walked in on January 6th in the bubble coat?
He might be. Story, yeah. The black dude in the fucking bubble coat. I want to know his story and shit.
What a way to get caught, though.
Also, speaking of Mr. Kyrie Irving, he made his return to the Brooklyn Nets, and he
I
wasn't
saw.
alone. You saw like thousands of Hebrew Israelites like marching around the Barclays Center. It's like, yeah, that. Hey, it shows you that is a real movement. Like I said, we know him Hebrew Israelites. That's why this is not new to us. Like we know that actual Hebrew.
Yeah, it's not a new thing.
It's like y'all late to the party. Like we've been knowing about them.
Yeah,
like,
we've been knowing about
Kyrie and Kanye just kind of brought it to the surface, but we'd have been knowing about that. It's like, like y'all late to the. And it was like thousands of them like marching. Like I don't know what they were doing, they chant or some shit, but they were literally. Did you see the videos of them marching?
I saw it. Yeah,
like
I saw it. They're like, yeah, we're not attending the game, but they were outside. They wasn't attending the game, but they were outside in solidarity. In solidarity. So hey.
And
make the noise.
Yeah. And as we get these few hot takes in, finally rest in peace, Irene Cara.
I know I was about to say that. Remember. You know I love Fame because we did Fame dance when I was in
she's Flash Dance.
Flash Dance.
That's her biggest hit, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's on my I'm gonna have to hook up my Just Dance because that's on Just Dance, the word feeling. Because like Ari loves doing that dance with me. We love doing the Flash Dance, Just Dance.
63 years young.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what happened. Like they still haven't released a cause, obviously, but they were saying that she passed away at her home.
Yeah, it's some conspiracy theories out there. You want to go into them? Let's go into them. It's like,
what's the conspiracy theory?
Because we all know what happened the last couple of years with the virus, and then the vaccine. Like people were posting, like, because she posted about when she got her vaccine, but and people like, and then you drop dead a year later. It's like that's the conspiracy theory that's out there. So who knows? Is like, but that's out there. And I just wanted to mention because she did post on her Twitter. Let me pull up the actual tweet from 2021. Oh, yeah, gave myself a very special birthday gift today. I got vaccinated. This is March of 2021 when she posted. Okay. So like what, a year and a half later and shit. Yeah, you just
People with their conspiracy theories.
That's what on the anti-vax. A lot of that tweet has resurfaced now and all of that.
Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah, that's dumb. I mean, a lot of things unfortunately are working under the
we don't know until we have the autopsy results. But I did see that. I said I'll just put it out there because I did see because I got in my timeline I got a lot of the hoteperia. So it's a lot of that. So yes.
Yeah, that's dumb. It is. But rest in peace to Irene Cara. Like I said, what a loss.
She also played on What's Happening. She was trying to marry rerun to gain citizenship.
Oh yeah.
Because she was playing a Mexican on there. So I think she was playing Mexican on that episode. And she was like Mary Rerun to gain her citizenship. That's another Irene Cara moment. She played in DC Cab. And one of my memories that I remember about her, since we tie it all together, the AMA is like when the 84 AMAs is like the Michael Jackson one, basically. It's like which is funny. Like, so I watched that show recently on YouTube, and I don't know if I got Mandela or if I just had false memories because I was so young then. But Michael didn't even perform at that show. I remember Michael being all over that show, but it's because he won everything. But yeah, and he got like the Lifetime Achievement, but he never. I remember I was like, why do I remember Michael performing on this show? But he didn't. I was like, I might have been thinking of Motown 25 was around that same time.
Maybe
that's where he performed that with him and his brothers, and then of course Billie Jean and the Moonwalk. I probably was combining the two shows. So I watched it. I was like, why do I remember Michael like performing on this show? And he didn't. He just
probably did. He probably just merged them together.
He got like 10 awards or some shit like that. He just kept coming on stage. Maybe that's why I remembered it. And then Irene Cara, when she did the What a Feeling, and then she did a moonwalk in the middle of, I remember thinking her moonwalk was trash back then. I remember that. I was like, I remember that's my memory of that. Because she did the What a Feeling. You know, it wasn't Michael's moonwalk, but she did moonwalk during the What a Feeling. So you look up that 84 AMAs, you see Irene Cara's ill moonwalk. She broke it out. So I went way back on that one, but that was an Irene Cara memory that I had when I saw. I was like, when she did the moonwalk, I remember as a kid, I didn't like her moonwalk. I was like, Michael's was better. Yeah, because then again, we were obsessed with Michael back then. So
Michael's moonwalk.
Michael's better.
Yeah.
But she did a move. So rest in peace, Irene Cara. 63 years young. Yeah, we lost her. But that'll do it for not another damn podcast. We went way over, but it's all good. If you like what we're doing, you want to support us further, give us a like. All of that. Also, subscribe, share, rate, review on all your platforms, talking Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, SoundCloud, iHeart, TLC Talk Radio. What's good, Tasha?
Hey, Tasha.
YouTube and your Amazon Alexa devices. You can also follow me at Ozman the Wizard on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Oz Radio on Snapchat and Facebook as well. You know how I do it.
And you could check me at MSIMA8626 on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Also, SCR8GULLEY1 on Twitter, SCR8GULLEY7 on Instagram. Also, please like the Straight Gully Facebook fan page. Check out straightgully.com for your blogs and your vlogs. And for your video production needs, check out straightgullyproductions.com.
I'm Ozman the Wizard.
And Naima.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
I'm gone.